Hey, welcome to Sunday Morning Coffee on Above Life channel. Today I have a question for you. Who can you be proud of? Let's start with that. I'm going to do a sound check real quick. Chilling upstairs in the kitchen because I had to wait for my coffee to get ready. Did you order your mug yet? It's on the shop here on Above Life channel. It's actually my fairy grasshopper shop. So check it out. All right, I'm just going to take a peek here and see if the sound is good. Do you like my bracelets? I got some fun bracelets yesterday. I attended our little small town pride parade. And I mean, it was little. It was a little one. It was like maybe 6 units. But it was awesome. It's really important. I stood at one of the intersections and I just cheered on the parade walkers because it's so important. There was a church in there and I was like, "Thank you. The kids need to see this. The youth needs to see this. The community needs to see this. Please keep doing this." So it was emotional for me. It felt really good to be there. It was the 3rd year that I have been at this particular pride parade. Last year I volunteered. This year, not quite in a space to be doing the heavy lifting like I did last year to set up the barricades and such, but I was there to show my support. And of course, I got these great little bracelets. Awesome. I got a flag, I got some candy, I got some beads. It was great. It was a really beautiful day too. So today my question is inspired by that. What or who can you be proud of? And at first I thought about asking, what are you proud of? And then I thought, well, but that's kind of a hard question for many of us because we're taught, at least it seems as though when I grew up, I feel like I was taught to be more humble, like not be so proud of yourself, and almost like that could be used as like a slam or a dig against you. Like, well, aren't you proud of yourself? Or are you proud of yourself? It kind of seemed had a bit of a negative connotation. You can't think too highly of yourself. That would make you conceited. And especially if you were a woman, there was a lot of judgment with that. And now we have to rework our value system and our belief system around feeling good about ourselves, feeling proud of ourselves. This is partly why we have an epidemic of unworthiness and why we feel like, at least some of us, for me, have felt like I have to like really like almost prove myself throughout my early, especially in my early career, after college, trying to make my way up the career ladder. And I don't feel so much that in the spiritual realm, like where in the psychic and mediumship realm, I don't feel like I have to prove myself. Maybe it's because that being proud sometimes is associated with ego and our brain, but I want to bring it into our spiritual reality because the goal in Above Life channel work is to align yourself, not to alienate any one part of you, not to alienate your brilliant mind that got you to where you're at, that gets you out of bed and to work in the morning, that gets you through that career day by day, even if you are burned out, right? It keeps you going and functioning in a way that then you can earn money to explore other experiences, to support hobbies that are healthy and positive and impactful, to support organizations and causes that you can contribute to because you have that career. And so the mind is super valuable, but it is not the gem. It is not the be all end all. All right. So now we have this opportunity to connect with our heart and our empathic energy, as 2024 on Above Life channel is the year of the empath. We always honor that heart, that sensory energy, that intuitive knowing and wisdom of who you are as you are exploring and experiencing the world in this human body and in alignment with your spirit, your sweet, sensual, sensory soul, that soul light, that intuitive energy in that belly, that solar plexus. And then finally, that beautiful encasement of the body, the human body, the physical expression that spirit within you utilizes to be able to have those experiences, to be able to garner those connections and relationships and to really be here present showing up in life. So my question to you as we start off this Sunday morning coffee is, who are you proud of? Who are you proud of? And bringing that pride energy, not as an ego, not as a, "Here's my list of accomplishments," or, "This person is very successful," but who are you really proud of? Who has moved through this life experience ex honoring the diversity that they have, or presenting with so much grace, even when they fall or falter or have had very challenging or turbulent times, and how they navigate life? That. I want you to feel into that. Feel into that proud of energy and allow someone to come forward. Allow a visual image of someone, allow a name, allow a person to come into your awareness, because that person, that spirit of that person has some characteristics, some traits and qualities that you have as well. But you may admire that within them because you can't really see it within yourself. Or maybe, just maybe, this lifetime, your incarnation has been about having the experiences to be able to develop those qualities or traits. And maybe you don't feel quite there yet. That's because you're humble. It's not because you're unworthy or not good enough. It's because you're in process. We are all in process. That's what progress is. It's the ability to be here now and look back and say, "Hey, I made it here." Showing up and being present to this life right now is a huge, glorious accomplishment. That is what you should be proud of. That is who you should be proud of. So, who is that person? Feel that energy. Get that imagery in your mind. It could be a famous person. It could be somebody, a literary person you've never met, somebody in the afterlife. It could be a family member, a friend, or a kid. I'm a parent, so I get proud of a lot of who's. And it's not because they're like brain surgeon, or uh a famous musician, but it's because I just see what they are able to do as they just face life day after day. And to me, that is worth celebrating. That is something to be proud of. So if you want to honor that person, go ahead and do that now. Put an emoji in the chat or in the comments. If you're listening to this, put an emoji in there that represents that person. If there are specific traits or characteristics that make you feel so proud of that person and you want to write some words there, go ahead and do that. We're going to honor that because we're going to amplify the energy of that love and appreciation and gratitude for those people, those spirits who are doing this thing called life, right? Did you get that? Did you get that reference? Thank you very much. Hello in the chat. Speaking of the chat, nice to see you today. Feeling the good vibes of the people that we're proud of, amplifying that, celebrating these folks. Now, if you have opportunity to do so later, go ahead and maybe write in your journal, write a letter, write some things, a little message to that person. If it's a person who exists in this timeline and you're comfortable talking with them, go ahead and send them an email, post on their channel, or send them a card that says, "Hey, I'm thinking of you." That kind of a thing. Do something like that. Tell them if you can. Share that with them if you can. Okay, we're going to transmute the energy that has been identified with success and achievement and ego pride, and we're going to embrace it and wrap that pride in the energy of love, especially because it is Pride Month. And that is about acceptance and love and encouragement. So reach out and share that loving energy for that person that came into your mind, if you can do that. And again, if they're in the afterlife and if someone in the afterlife, pray. Share your words out loud. Go for a walk and share it or write it down in your journal and give that expression. All right. That's really important because that's energy. And when you write something, that's your brain getting involved too. So that really brings that mind, heart, body, soul into alignment. Again, that simple premise is the foundation of my work here on Above Life channel. Body, mind, heart, and soul, four aspects of who you are, who we are. And the goal is alignment. It's not perfection. It's the recognition that all parts of you have value. Not any part of you is bad. Bringing all the parts into alignment. Now you have different connections to different parts of you at different times. You might be loving your body right now. You might not be loving your body so much right now. You might be loving your heart right now. You might be having a hard time with your heart right now. But the point is to really acknowledge that there are four attributes and aspects of you that help to ground you, to center you through this lifetime, that aligns your human life experience and your spirit, soulful experience together in union, flowing and moving energetically and physically. Okay. All right. Hello. Good morning in the chat. I said that once, but I'm saying it again. I'm holding my mic because I don't have a space to set it down. I set myself up a little too close to the edge here. All right. So the next phase of this Sunday morning coffee is about you being proud of yourself, appreciating yourself, having gratitude for you, for the great things that you've done, for the things that you've overcome, for the compassion you've been able to have for yourself and the forgiveness and grace you've been able to give yourself. Oh, wait, you haven't been able to do that? Well, let's take a moment now. You, empathic you, let's take a moment now to be in that heart space together, to acknowledge and recognize that the human experiences that you've had, the mistakes that you've made are in fact human and par for this course as you are living. They are proof of living, of existence. They might have been pretty big mistakes. They might have been multiple mistakes. But in this moment, you have the opportunity to bring forward the heart-warming energy of love, acceptance, gratitude, appreciation for where you are today and now. If it's an addiction scenario, start again now. Start again today. Start fresh today. It's a new day. And just today, focus on the now, the present moment. The past is the past, and it's composted. It creates the mulch that helps us to grow, to bloom, to blossom. Yeah, that sounds really cheesy, but it's the truth. It is how it works. That's why it's so oversimplified, because that literally, that whole bloom where you're planted thing, that's true. That's true. Some of us just may have created more mulch than others. Okay? That's all right. Maybe your garden's going to be really freaking big. So be in this heart space for just a moment. And just breathe in the energy of the recognition of arriving here today. And I'm proud of you for being here. I'm proud of you for not giving up, for not leaving life. I'm proud of you for waking up today and facing the day. I'm proud of you. You're doing the best you can. That has to be enough at this moment. And as you learn and grow from your past experiences, you will do better. You will. And you will never stop growing. You will never stop evolving, which means you're never going to stop screwing things up. It's just going to happen. Let's try not to be so hard on ourselves, you empathic, heart-based person. Let's feel into that heart and allow some grace and allow some compassion, some gentleness. I'm human. Okay, that could be a good affirmation for you. I am human. I might have extraordinary human gifts and abilities, but I am human. You might be made of the things that make the stars, your spirit, your soul. You might have infinite capacity. You may not even use a quarter of it in this timeline. That doesn't mean you're a failure. You should be proud of yourself for coming in, for incarnating, and for staying here, for coming back. You get to refresh. Take a nice fresh breath. Clear out that throat chakra, the judgment, the mythic projections of stories that don't work for you, that aren't helping you, that are pulling you back to the past and pulling you back to the past and reflecting and spending too much time in the past and too much. You can't do anything about that. It's done. It is done. It is done. It is done. It is done. I had an experience. I'm not sure if I shared it here. I know I shared it on TikTok just briefly, but I had an experience with I may have shared it here. My counselor last week, and I said, I am so proud of myself. I am. I don't have like the one person in my life that would have said, I'm really proud of you. You've been doing great. You've been doing so much. I'm so proud of you, was my dad. And he hasn't been here for 20 plus years. So it's on me. And I told my counselor, it just came right out of my mouth. I said, I am really proud of myself for all that I've been through the last 3 years since like probably the beginning of 2021 or the end of 2020. I can't even recall now. The last 3 years. I am so proud of myself because I've been through a lot and just so many experiences, so many things, so many different kinds of just life happenings and unfoldings that, I mean, you can't even, it's like just one thing after another, layered upon layered upon layered. And I'm like, I'm here. I'm here. I'm not perfect. I mean, I could have definitely managed things better. And yet I did the best I could. And I am proud of myself for being here. And I am not going to let myself go backwards. I am not going to let myself fall into the patterns that felt so negative during that time. And instead, I'm going to be proud of what I have learned and what I can extract from those experiences that have become a good foundation for me stepping forward, really honoring myself, not looking to somebody else to be proud of me, because I'm going to be holding my breath a long time for that. Because ain't nobody going to come to me and say, you know what, you do a great job. You're a really good person. Nobody's going to do that for me. Okay. Nobody's going to do that for you either. You have to make sure that you are doing that for you. You are the center pillar of light. You are the foundation. You are the beginning, the middle, and the end. You are who you were with at your moment of birth. You are who you are with at your darkest hour. You are who you are with at the end of your life. It is you. It is you. So spend this time knowing yourself and standing for yourself and loving yourself. Don't change your value system so that other people can be comfortable. Don't force your value system on other people either. Accept that they get to be proud of who they are, and you get to be proud of who you are. And my pride doesn't take away from yours. It's not a subtraction. It's not a limited energy base. It's regenerative. that source of feeling good, of honoring ourselves, of recognizing the soul within us, trying to live a human experience and how challenging that can be, and that we're doing our best because we're showing up. Showing up is a huge, massive success. You should be proud for showing up. I didn't even know if I was going to go to the parade yesterday. I was really debating. I was like, if I go, I'm gonna have some triggers. I'm sure I'm gonna have some feelings. I'm sure stuff's gonna come up for me, and I'm gonna have to deal with that. Do I really wanna step into that? And I sat there in my vehicle even before I left the house, and I thought, do I if I don't go, how would I feel? Like, the idea of not going, how does it feel? It feels like abandoning myself. That's what it felt like. It felt bad and sad, and why would I not go? I would not go because not for myself. I'm going for myself. I'm not going because of maybe other people. Honestly, that was where I was at. I'm like, I have to go, even if it's challenging. Even if it makes me very emotional, and it did, and it will, and that's what happens, and that's a good thing because I felt love. I felt a crack open in my heart again of the light that's inside me, and I felt what been trying to protect for so many months of as I've been healing and working through recalibrating myself as I've stepped back into life again after my near-death experience, and it's been a gentle process, really slow moving for my typical brain. And I felt that opening again of light and life and connection, and recognizing that the energies of guilt or shame or the feelings that I've had over the past few years of feeling bad are the past. I don't have to feel those ways now. I don't have to. I'm free from that. As long as I don't create it or hold it or accept it from anywhere, society as a whole, in my personal relationships. I I I get to decide that. I get to decide that. And that's not an easy thing because it sneaks in. Starts to sneak in. You start to think, "Oh, oh, maybe I shouldn't go to that pride parade." I went by myself. I was alone, as I have been the last 3 years at the pride parade. But it didn't matter before because I had to do it. And this year, I'm like, I just expect now that I need to go by myself. And because that's my value, I need to show up for me. And I can't expect other people to understand that or care about it like I do. And that's probably the part that makes me feel the most sad is like, I think a lot of us want to be understood. I mean, we know that people care, obviously, right? It's not about caring, it's about the understanding. You want to be understood. And I think that's a natural human need, but I don't think that's really attainable, truly, ultimately, being understood. So, what I'd like to enter in then is this focus on pride. And I'd like you to start to feel into how you can be proud of yourself, not changing what you're doing. I'm not telling you to change your actions or to change your life or, do things better. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about an acceptance of where you're at today. Be proud that you're here. Be proud that you show up. Be proud that you care about you. And you have to consistently do that. And that is what living is, consistently showing up and being present, and then having compassion for yourself. That's how you're going to understand yourself and what you might need and what you might want from this experience that you've chosen to incarnate into. So I'm going to say to you today, Above Life channel viewers, I'm proud of you. I'm especially proud of you for being here as the channel grows and evolves and changes and ebbs and flows, and you're here for the ride. You're up for whatever we're going to do today. I'm proud of you for showing up for all of these things. And I'm glad you're here. Here in life. I'm glad you're here in life. All right, so let me say hi in the chat directly to some folks. Then we'll wrap up the Sunday morning coffee. Tomorrow we will be doing our Monday video. I'm not sure what we're going to do tomorrow. I'm starting to dabble with some new ideas, but they're very psychic ideas. So we'll have to see what comes up tomorrow. I hope you will join me. All right, so good morning, Gail. Oh, gosh, it's so good to see you. I'm sure your daddy would be proud of you as well. Hello, Lisa. I'm sure your partner in the afterlife would be very proud of you as well. Hey, Jeannie. Hello, Temple. Nice to see you. Good morning. Cheers. Coffee to you. Seal, girl. A Tennessee girl. Nice to see you, my friend. Wow, I haven't seen you for a while. I'm sure you're celebrating that Prince's non-birthday this past week. Rebecca, good morning. Okay. Suzanne, hello. Thank you. Yes, thank you. Hey, Jarell. Nice to see you as well. Sandra. Oh, thank you. Oh, right. If you don't love yourself, it's hard to love others. It really is because it's kind of distorted, isn't it? That's an interesting comment, but that's true. So one of the people in our chat, for those of you who are watching after the live stream, brought up the fact that it's hard to love others if you don't love yourself. And I would agree with that, although I also agree that love is very dynamic. And so because of that, it seems as though it's not like we get to a point where we're like, okay, I love myself. Now I can be in a relationship with somebody and love them. Because sometimes, like, I'm thinking of having kids, like they teach me about love. Like when I had my daughter, my oldest child, she literally changed my entire life, like everything. I had no concept of really what unconditional love was until I had a baby. I really didn't know. I had no idea. And at that time, my dad hadn't passed away and I didn't realize I was a medium and all that kind of stuff. And so I didn't have that experience, but she sort of broke me open, you know, and exposed me to this other part of myself that I didn't know I had, which then gave me more capacity to love myself in ways that I hadn't before. And I think obviously love means a lot of different things and we express it and receive it in very different ways. And to me, at least over the past few years, it's been a lot of me learning about compassion for myself. That's how I'm loving myself. It's not about self-care. It's not about just being an empath, or it's not about X, Y, or Z necessarily. Really, it just kind of boils down for me to that compassionate piece, which is probably connected to understanding, to wanting to be understood. And if I allow myself to not have the answers, not try to fix things, not try to change myself, but just be with myself in loving ways, then yeah, that's love. That's definitely love. And then I can still, while I'm growing and learning about love and loving myself, I can be in relationship with other people. But my capacity then becomes infinitely larger. It expands to be able to be in a loving relationship with someone else, to be able to have those difficult conversations in compassionate ways, to be able to have a shared learning experience with someone else. I think it just amplifies. So yes, definitely. Lots of good energy around the word love. We could do a lot about that, but let's just amplify it today. All right. Let's take a minute to just kind of feel into our heart space one more time. Get yourself grounded and centered, allowing your coffee to settle in, or your tea or your water. I have been drinking more tea lately. I've been trying not to drink as much coffee. and more water for sure, especially during the summer here. But feeling into that energy, the simplicity, the basics, that loving energy, the compassion within you, that unconditional part of knowing yourself and understanding, that love, that abundance, that limitlessness, that expansion. Nice breath in. Big breath out. Yes. Now let's step into our Sunday and have an amazing day. I hope I've inspired your spirit and filled you with some hope today and encouraged you to live your life. It's your life after all, and you get to, I heard you, live it. Just live it. Thanks for being here. See you tomorrow.